Oh, do I? Do I want to give this if I go down this list, if I break down Monday Night Raw, I might change my mind about this rating. Because, let me just say this right now. I gave Monday Night Raw an 8 out of 10. Which is real. I gave Monday Night Raw an 8 out of 10. I want to give it a 9 out of 10. Because last week I think got a 9 out of 10. This week was really good too. This was really good. I mean, just a lot of things happened. Ricochet's the number one contender. Charlotte's going to NXT. And there was a big ass snowstorm. That's really what happened. I'm going to recap it anyway. So, recap of Edge last week. Of Edge getting attacked. It was unreal. Edge's return was unreal. Like everything else that's ever happened with returns. Unreal, emotional, just absolutely personal. And then Randy Orton RKO low. But with a twist. Of course, we were going to get with a twist. He cracked Edge with his chair in the back, and then, concerto, which you rarely see. So it was pretty awesome. So, of course, Randy was going to give an explanation. But, for me, this segment reminded me of just how damn good Randy Orton can be on a given day. It doesn't, a lot of people have their personal opinions on Randy. When he's a heel, and you get these kind of vibes, I got a mid 2008 to early 2010 vibes with Randy Orton. That's like, when he debuted Voices and when he turned face at WrestleMania. That's what I got. That's heel Randy. That's the perfect heel Randy Orton. Like, ice cold, sadistic, no posing. He's just got the icy stare and pure malicious in his eyes. That's just what it is. It's that kind of Randy Orton is what you need. You need that Randy Orton. You need him to be that kind of guy that you can get behind, that you can do so fucking much with. Like, you can even put the title on him. You can put the world championship on him. I don't care. That is the best Randy Orton. That's the best Randy Orton in my opinion. It's that and then the Legend Killer. But other than that, he tried to give his explanation and then he couldn't. And then he walked away. He walked out of the arena to a chorus of boos, and it was perfect. It was the perfect way to start Monday Night Raw. I would say keep this going. Don't have Randy explain a damn thing until it's the right time to do it. Like, this is the Randy Orton we all need. Just this Randy Orton, not the babyface Randy Orton, not a authority figure Randy Orton. This is the Randy Orton that you need. Doesn't give a damn about authority. Doesn't give a damn about the fans. Doesn't give a damn about any single body. He's vicious. He's sadistic. He's just everything that a heel should be. This was the best initial Randy Orton heel turn that you saw. When when he was a heel from that 05 to 2010 run, but he switched up. He got a little bit bald on the top, and then he just went off. Man, this is the best Randy Orton you can have. You had a recap of the Men's Rumble. You had a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the WWE title at Super Showdown. You had a 6-man tag match, which was coming up a little bit later, and then you have Liv Morgan versus Lana again. Wait a minute. Where's the entrance ramp? Oh, it's coming from the side, actually. If you didn't take a look at how you saw the angle of the camera, if you saw, take for instance, this is like a camera right here, and it's pointing at the stage, but it's pointing at an angle of where, they're coming from. They're coming this, hard kind of left. If you were sitting in, a different way, if you were facing, if you were in the arena and you're facing the entrance ramp, it's or if you're behind the entrance ramp, you're coming from a hard left, but it's like a hard right instead. It's like a deep right, and they come out and you make a turn. It's like, oh, they were coming from that side. So if anybody wanted to know, they were coming from that part of the ramp. There was no like entrance way, because I think they did something. I think because of the way Salt Lake's arena is big configured, they couldn't really do the entrance ramp the way that they used to, or they could have done. So you have Liv Morgan and Lana again. So we just got a rematch with the same outcome. But, ladies and gentlemen, Ruby Riott returned. Oh yeah, that was fun. You obviously have that connection. Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan, Riott Squad, they were great. Why can't we have them back? Oh, because Ruby turned on Liv Morgan. And then you have Lana hit Liv with a face buster, and then, screaming, "That's karma." And it's just got a little bit more interesting, because Ruby's return makes this rivalry a little bit more interesting than it did. You have a recap of the Salt Lake City snowstorm. That won't be the last. Keep that in mind. And you have Mojo Rawley and Rick Moss in the ring. I like to also mention WWE's production crew. You're great and all, but whoever was working the everything in the beginning of the show, you fucked up. You fucked up with Liv Morgan's entrance, because you still had Lana's graphics on the side, and you couldn't do anything with the goddamn lights. What were you doing? Oh man, just what were you doing? Yeah, Mojo Rawley and Riddick Moss standing in the ring after, the recap of the Salt Lake snowstorm. Don't forget that. And then you also had Drew come out. Yeah, a recap of Drew promo last week, and then Drew cut a promo. He thanked the fans for coming out fighting the blizzard. He warned Mojo. He talked about Brock attacking from behind, and that Drew's fine with that. Brock knows he's quicker, he's faster, and just has the Claymore. And come WrestleMania, he'll do it again and become WWE champion. That needs to happen. And then he forgot Mojo, and then Mojo got Claymored, and then the 1, 2, 3. See you bye, Mojo Rawley. It just took one Claymore, like Drew said. Charlie Poof. I hope you like that. That's a new thing I'm doing. Charlie Poof. Because I just like to do something extra. So yeah, you had the Charlie interview. The Messiahs of Raw with Buddy and AOP, saying they already won because they're on the right side of history. And then Seth appears. He told him to get ready. He said, and then the Charlie Poof asked on his thoughts on the triple threat. Said life has a funny way of working itself out. Just as all is lost, everything comes back to reality, as this is redemption. He beat Brock twice, and then Drew needs to prepare for the Monday Night Messiah instead of the Beast Incarnate at WrestleMania. The 6-man tag match, which was up next, and it was a good match with a really good amount of drama. And then KO is just really good at just being the underdog. He's good at being an underdog type of guy. You had Seth interfere, and then interfere. It was, first of all, it was KO and Viking Raiders versus Buddy and AOP. Great match. The eliminations really went down to the wire. Of course, they started with Buddy Murphy and AOP eliminating Viking Raiders. Well, Ivar took himself out. Eric got curb stomped, and then, Seth picked up the pieces afterwards. KO did his best as an underdog, like I said. Eliminated Buddy Murphy, and then he eliminated Akam. Razor finished off the match with a good amount of movesets. It was a really good thing. Charlie Poof. Ricochet. Competing for the WWE title was a dream come true for him. Ever since he was 14, he wanted to be the best. It might be unrealistic for him because he's short and stuff. It was a cliche thing. Determination outweighs everything in the end. That's your Charlie Poof. Aleister Black coming up next. Recap of the Salt Lake City snowstorm again. Just please remember that, because it won't be the last one. Aleister Black versus Eric Young. Some knee strikes and kicks, and then a black mass. Aleister Black cut a promo mentioning being failed mentioned kids being failed by adults, because you grow up, you never understood the system. Growing up to be told who you want to be is not accurate. As he says, you're growing up to be who you want to be. Drives relentless competition. He says it will golf a shadow on the Raw locker room, and it was done by a person who could do whatever he wanted to do. interesting. Aleister Black needs a title. Give him a title. And then you have a recap of Humberto Carrillo taking out Andrade. Obviously, we know why Andrade is out, because he has a 30-day suspension. So Humberto had a matchup next, but so wait a minute. Humberto came out, but Zelina had a little bit of a surprise for him, and that was Angel Garza, which caught me by surprise. I was like, oh, Angel Garza. Oh. Not long ago, he was competing on NXT. Not long ago, he was just defending the Cruiserweight Championship. Well, making his debut. Well, that was surprising. Zelina cut her promo saying nobody plays fair, as vulnerability is a liability, messing with their business is a big mistake. Angel's not hired as a hitman, and then he ran down the accomplishments and then said, that's Humberto Carrillo's cousin, which is actually true. And then you had the what chance, which was just stupid. Just stop. If you just shut up. Shut up with the what chance. I hate the what chance. Fuck the whats. That's my thing. Fuck the whats. I want that spammed in the comments. I want that spammed on Twitter, because I just fuck the whats. Angel says Humberto looks shocked, and then he says that Angel said he's the leader of the family, and Humberto tried to answer him, and Humberto answers to him. Last week was a disgrace to everyone, even the Latinos. And then boom, mic snatch, and then a Spanish, and then some Spanish, and then a smack, and then a wing clipper, and then the concrete, and then Ray came out, and then we got Ray versus Angel Garza, which was a great match after the break. It was a great match with a great showing from Angel Garza, who was fantastic in the ring. Seriously, watch him against Leo Rush. Great matches. And then it ended with Angel getting DQ with a DDT on the concrete. Oh, I didn't know you can actually DDT someone on the concrete and get a DQ finish. Pretty interesting. Charlotte Flair announcement. Another recap of the snowstorm. Not going to be the last. Charlotte came out for an announcement, sign pointing. And then, of course, she had mentioned who she talked about who she's choosing. She mentioned Bayley. She mentioned Bayley or Becky. She's held both titles. She's beaten both women. Although, the crowd started chanting NXT. And then she loves NXT. And NXT has love for the queen. And but she's a 10-time champion. But she said she was about to say who she wants. And then Rhea effing Ripley, or as my new nickname for her, Rhea Badass. Rhea Badass came out, and first of all, know me very well. I fucking love Rhea Ripley. I fucking love Rhea Ripley since her run in the second Mae Young Classic when she became the NXT UK champion, UK Women's Champion. My God, Rhea Ripley she's, oh my Jesus. Whew, keep it together. And then she mentions how Charlotte can challenge for anyone. It mentions the important points of her being beating Becky and beating Bayley. But she hasn't beaten Rhea. And Rhea has beaten Charlotte. And said she wants Charlotte to challenge her. Oh my God. Then Charlotte gave a head nod and then walked away and then woo. Oh, give me this match at WrestleMania. I want to see Rhea Ripley debut in a match against WrestleMania. Not Charlie Poof. Bobby Lashley. He's not distracted. He finally gets the opportunity to get what he deserved since he returned. Says he'll beat both Ricochet and Seth. And says he'll beat Brock and Drew with the WWE Championship on the line. You had Asuka versus Natalya, which was a great match. Of course it was. People forget how good Natalya is in the ring. It's a good match, and that was enjoyable from the very second it began because it was a technical. It started with mat-based wrestling, and then it moved on, and then it ended with a submission. Of course, Natalya lost because Asuka needs to win. Asuka needed to win, and then Asuka cut a promo saying, "Where's Becky? Japanese rematch for women's title." Becky comes out. God. Let me just say this. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. I know I'm gonna get flack for that. I mean, sorry. I'm very, very sorry for that Asuka impersonation. That was horrible. I feel so terrible. Oh boy. I'm gonna get a whole lot of heat in the comments. Please don't hate me in the comments. I love Asuka and I love Kairi and I love their Japanese. I love everything about the Kabuki Warriors. I love everything about Io Shirai. I love everything about Japan and I love everyone about Japan. Oh my god, I love everyone in Japan too. Please do not hate me in the comments for that terrible fucking impersonation. That looked like racist. That looked like racism. No, it wasn't. Please. I am not a racist. Nevertheless, Becky is stale as fuck. Gimmick shades. I hate it. And, you know, Becky mentioned after Asuka ducked her for a whole year, although it was her ducking Asuka instead. Asuka wants another fight, and beating her gave her superpowers at the Royal Rumble. And why she put her title? She just said, why would she put her title on the line? Just to go through those kind of waters again? She said she's damn right, and she accepted. And then Kairi had a failed attack, and then Becky put on the gimmick glasses. I've had enough of the man. When it was at SummerSlam, when it happened at SummerSlam, when it was going through its course and everything, when it happened on Monday Night Raw, when it was solidified, it was awesome. Now, when it got to WrestleMania, it was still great. And you had the whole thing with Lacey Evans, which kind of was like, eh. And then it's like the whole thing with her and Seth being utilized as a real thing on TV, which was, And then, SummerSlam was where I felt like it should have ended. And then what should have ended at Hell in a Cell, and then it's died down more and more and more and more and more. It's stale. It's stale, guys. Let's admit it. The man is not the man no more. She's just regular Becky Lynch. Just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick. Just another stale gimmick. End Becky. Please, Asuka. End Becky. That's all I'm asking you to do. And then you got the triple threat matchup next, and then you got the snowstorm recap. No more of the snowstorm, please. Well, actually, that was the last one. And then Charlotte's going to NXT Wednesday night to a... Oh my goodness. I think we might just get what we think we're going to get. And then Seth cut a promo saying wants a round of applause for Buddy and AOP. Kind of got it. And saying that it's his time now. He's going to dethrone Brock 3 times. He's going to dethrone Brock for a 3rd time. He remembers the response the fans gave him when he defeated Brock twice. And that he became a fighting champion for them. Because the fans then turned on him. But he doesn't hate him for it. He thanked them. Because he thanked them for being who he is today. And he'll beat Brock for not him, the fans, but for the greater good. And he'll defeat Drew at WrestleMania. And rewrite history yet again. And then the triple threat number 1 contenders match, because the time ran short, because it was 11 o'clock Eastern time when the match finished. It was supposed to be a time of Raw supposed to go off. The match was still great. Ricochet set his own funeral. Ricochet set his own funeral by winning that match. But holy shit, Brock Lesnar came up and then F5'd him. Now that I went through this entire... Yeah, I'm going to give this Raw a 9 out of 10. This was a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Fantastic Monday Night Raw from start to finish. It was so interesting. It was so compelling. And then, of course, you got next week. I don't know what's going to happen next week. The build to Super Showdown on Monday Night Raw is great. Something that Raw has that SmackDown doesn't have is consistency, even with, even with some of the dumb things. I think it's also come down to the fact that, hey, some of their guys get used really good on that show too. They get used on Raw. That the women's matches are good. Sometimes on SmackDown, the women's matches aren't as interesting. You still got Fire and Desire versus goddamn Cross Bliss. Bailey is like women's champion, but she isn't as, like, popular or everything. Sasha's not on SmackDown often. The Fiend isn't, or Bray isn't on SmackDown as often. Daniel doesn't appear on SmackDown as often. Braun still appears on SmackDown, but he doesn't have that same momentum as he did like before. You don't have like a definitive kind of heel. You don't have like a certain kind of face either. Like, who's really on Smack? You got all these kind of guys on SmackDown. You still, like, if I can look right now on the SmackDown list, it's like, oh my god, there's a whole bunch of guys on SmackDown that doesn't really ever get used anymore. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you have all these guys. Apollo Crews you can use. The New Day wasn't even on SmackDown this week. Freaking, my god. I mean, Elias was used on SmackDown last week. It was pretty fun to see. Jeff's still out with a knee injury. The Usos are still entertaining. You still got John Morrison who returned. Goddamn, Lars Sullivan still out with an injury. Mustafa Ali, where the hell has he been recently? God damn, like, SmackDown lacks something. Of course, Roman Reigns is still there. Roman Reigns is gonna be great. Sami Zayn should pretty much like separate himself from from Shinsuke and Cesaro. I don't think he's necessary. He can be his own kind of heel or his own kind of babyface. Like, SmackDown needs that kind of guy. That's what I'm honestly saying, in my honest opinion. That's what SmackDown needs. Other than that, it's like, well, who else do you really have? On the women's side, Ember Moon's out with her torn Achilles. Mickie James is doing stuff with Main Event. I don't know how that's still a show. Naomi just came back, but they're gonna have to introduce her in some way. Tamina still can be used. Tamina can be used in a way. Why can't we use her? She's a big kind of woman, and at the same time, she has a good amount of stuff in the ring. She just returned from an injury. Let's use her in a kind of way, in a big kind of brute kind of way. Carmella, where's she been? She's been used with Dana Brooke for some reason. And like I said, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they're still a tag team. I think split Alexa and Nikki. They should have split Alexa and Nikki a long time ago. Jesus Christ. Alexa is far, far better than a heel than she is as a babyface. It's just weird how SmackDown doesn't use the guys and girls the way that Monday Night Raw is using them. And SmackDown's getting a lot less focus than Monday Night Raw. Because Raw, although SmackDown's getting paid the big kind of money to just, produce a good TV show, for some reason they don't want to put on a good TV show anymore. And AJ Styles is out with an injury on Monday Night Raw. Jesus. Monday Night Raw doesn't even have, it has a big roster, but they don't even use half of their stars. SmackDown almost uses almost their entirety of their, doesn't even use most of their stars too, but Jesus Christ, Raw just puts on a better show than SmackDown. I don't know how, when you're paying that kind of money to Fox, you're paying them $1 million, you're getting paid $1 billion? Jesus. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how Raw is better than SmackDown when SmackDown is supposed to be better than Raw. But I don't have a problem with it. Of course, I don't think SmackDown is going to top Raw this week either, depending on what they have on the show, depending on how they book the show, depending on the quality of the show, which is probably not going to be as good as Monday Night Raw is. And of course, you can say Monday Night Raw has the hour advantage because Raw is on for 3 hours, SmackDown's on 2 hours. But hey, even during those 2 hours, SmackDown still had better shows than Monday Night Raw. So, it doesn't really matter. So this was the last video for, today. I'm finally caught up on schedule with everything. I'm going to right now probably get something to eat, maybe. I thank you guys so much for trying to deal with me during this time when I've been late on schedule with everything. And Monday Night Raw is absolutely fantastic, even with the kind of roster that they have. So, actually, no, I need to use the bathroom. So I'm going to go all the things that are in the description, like, comment, subscribe, share, doesn't really, it's just to build the match community here on YouTube, because it's really gonna be, it really does help in the end, to get to that kind of goal. My goal is really 1,000 by the end of the year, because I don't have like a 100,000 or what million thing, because I don't think that's realistic. I think 1,000 by the end of the year is more realistic than anything else, because this kind of things take time. That's what it is. If you watch the video, if you've been watching this video to this point, I thank you so much for watching. If you want to donate to the PayPal, if you want to send money to my PayPal, I mean, you can if you want to. One person has told me, it's your money, you can use it how you want to, and I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm not going to, say you don't have to donate, because if you want to, you can. That's up to you guys. I thank you guys so much for the support and love and everything else. Even if you don't comment, if it's one person that ends up watching this video, thank you so much. I'm going to be uploading more. I'm going to get back on schedule on Thursday and then Friday, and I don't know what's happening this weekend in the world of wrestling. Someone tell me. I'm going to go and just relax. Bye, everybody.